Hey guys, welcome into the Mailbag powered by MondoPad. I am Sarah Hecht, joined by Casey Holdahl. As always, we are here taking your guys' questions using that hashtag TBMailbag. So let's hop right in.
Let's do it.
No
TB
surprise,
Mailbag.
today they are playoff-centric. So these two very, very similar, so I thought we'd throw them up together. Coming from Daniel Kessler and Chad, they say, what's the strategy for stopping Howard in the playoffs? And do you see the Trailblazers doubling Howard come playoff time?
Both good questions. One, when I view the playoff matchup against the Rockets, I view Dwight Howard as like he's what's going to stay the same. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know if there's a whole lot the Trailblazers can do or even should do to try to really quote unquote slow him down at all. I think you allow Dwight Howard to do what he does and rely on Robin Lopez to hopefully stay out of foul trouble and contain him one-on-one. And you worry more about the James Hardens and the Chandler Parsons and even to a lesser extent the Terrence Joneses of the Rockets. So to answer the first question, strategy for stopping him, I think you play strong position defense. I think you ask Robin to do whatever he can. Again, I think it's more important to keep Robin out of foul trouble than it is to necessarily stop Dwight Howard, because I don't think you're going to do that. So in regards to your second part of your question about double teaming him, I wouldn't, because that's kind of what the Rockets thrive on. That's what their system is based off of, is you double teaming Dwight Howard and them kicking out to the perimeter for three-point shots. Mm-hmm. And I think you like your chances better putting the pressure on Dwight Howard to score in one-on-one matchups than you do throwing a double at him and then giving up an open shot to Chandler Parsons or Patrick Beverly or James Harden or Jeremy Lin or whoever else is out on the outside for the Rockets.
Yeah, and you have to think about the fact that the double team is not something the Trailblazers have been actively doing all season long. So to kind of change what's been working, so to speak, yeah, you do have to tweak your game and try to bring as many surprises as you can. But I don't know that something that's that major, as in shifting an entire player on the floor, is going to be something that would make the big difference there. And I love what you said there about Harden as well, because he's the guy. I mean, he's one of the guys that you're really going to be keying in on, him as well as Dwight. But the guy that can really be attack mode from every angle is James Harden, and I think he needs to be your focus.
Yeah, and I mean, I might be misremembering this, but I don't feel like Dwight Howard has really punished the Trailblazers this year.
Only from the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, and I think James Harden has shown this year that he can really kind of stick it to the Blazers. So, I think you throw an occasional double at him. You maybe dig every now and then to kind of make his posts a little uneasy, but for the most part, I think you just rely on verticality and hope he misses both his hook shots and his free throws.
Indeed. Well, keeping with the theme of big men, let's go ahead and move on and take this question from Ripsody Aloha. Hopefully that's Aloha from Hawaii and not Aloha as in Oregon. Either way, sorry about that. They say, what's the team's vision, goals, timeline for Meyers Leonard, and what type of skills and training does he need to do?
I think vision is that he one day becomes, the starting center for this team. Obviously, having Robin Lopez kind of changes that metric a little bit. I think people, even myself, forget that Robin's 25 years old. He's not that old of a player. Meyers is 21, so obviously 4 years in the NBA is not insignificant, but you figure a guy like Robin, if he plays at this level, is going to be a starter at center in the NBA for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So I think it changes it a little bit, but I think basically they drafted Meyers to be the center of the future for this team. I think he fits in well if he can put things together defensively, at least from an offensive perspective, because he stretches the floor. He's incredibly athletic, just having a hard time kind of putting those skills to use right now. As far as the training he does, I mean, it kind of runs the gamut. And at this time of year, too, it's a little bit difficult because the team has really kind of changed focus from improving individual players to actually winning games. And so Meyers is a guy who's not playing a lot, so he's definitely getting in a lot of workouts, but not so much 5-on-5 workouts. The starters aren't really practicing a whole lot. So as far as kind of Meyers is concerned, as of right now, it's more of an off-season thing for Meyers. I think Meyers is going to have to improve in the off-season every single year until he kind of gets to the point where he's a quality rotation player in the NBA, and that's probably another 2 years off, I think. And I think that's kind of the expectation the team has for him.
I think that's completely normal. I mean, when you talk about what Neil O'Shea was focusing on with Meyers Leonard and Damian Lillard originally when they were drafted, he flat out said the learning curve and the growth and development curve for a big man in the NBA is much longer than it is for a guard. And I think the fact that Damian Lillard came out and performed so well right away is making it's making the worries that we have just too compounded about Myers. We need to all relax. realize that he's on the normal learning curve. I mean, he's not a guy that's on a team where he's getting thrown in right away, so you're going to have, crazy minutes like Andre Drummond or whoever it was, where they can actually improve in game. He's going to take that natural curve of where you're down the bench, earning your way up, so on and so forth. And don't let the huge success of Damian Lillard kind of taint that, because he is in the natural kind of growth process.
Well, and I think that, to that point, I think that's one of the reasons why they felt comfortable drafting Meyers at 12 was because, Damian was going to be the guy that they knew was going to play right away, and Meyers was going to be the guy they knew was going to take a little bit of time. So you just got to be patient, and I know it's hard to be patient, especially when you see Meyers go out there, particularly getting tossed out of games late in garbage time.
Yeah.
Though I don't have a problem with that, personally. Guys are trying to score. You try to stop them from scoring, and you prefer not to hard foul them.
You got to try to capitalize.
That's the only chance they have to play. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like it's the only chance they have to play. So the idea that I'm just going to let some guy waltz into the lane and score on me, what the heck with that? If he doesn't want to get fouled, don't try to score.
All right, there you go. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this week's Mailbag powered by MondoPad. You can submit your questions to us using the hashtag TBMailbag. Send an email to mailbag@trailblazers.com. And, of course, you can always find us on Twitter at Trailblazers. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.